Yeah, my name is Adam Prewitt. I'm actually the founder and I'm the co-founder and managing member of DES. My executive title is CEO, so oversee all aspects from business administration to operations and everything in between. Back in 2007, I had started in a sales career and was in the executive world, and over a conversation with a good friend of mine who I had went to college with, and he had been in the industry, not sure what he did, but his father actually owned a dental lab. And we were at dinner one night and just had a simple conversation about how, I'd gotten into banking and wanted to get back into sales, and a company called Henry Schein, which has a lab division called Zahn Dental, was looking for a sales rep. And he said, hey, why don't you, call Dad, who owned a lab in Louisville, Texas, and said, maybe present a resume, see if that's something you'd be interested in, because I know they're looking for a sales rep. And so I did that process, called his dad, and he welcomed me into his dental lab, and literally in preparation for my interview, he walked me through the whole process. So I started in the model room, and then at that time, back in mid-2000s, things were really starting to progress both in the materials, digitally, all ceramics, as well as the technology. And so started in the model room, but they were casting alloys in there, building ceramics. They had a couple small scanners in there, one called a Nobel Procera back then, and a Straumann Etcon scanner. And I was fascinated because, to be honest, I didn't even know that this aspect of dentistry, or the background manufacturing artistry piece, existed. I was fortunate enough to get that job, and then, that was back in August of 2007, and within 7.5 years, had a great career with Henry Schein, stepped out of the business briefly, but then had an opportunity to work for a very forward-thinking entrepreneur by the name of Sasha Darabanesian, who ran Harvest Dental Products in Brea, California. Was with him for 2.5 years as their director of sales. From that perspective, it opened my eyes to the continuing evolution of digital dentistry and the connection between the dentist and the lab, but also I gained so much operational knowledge there, and being from DFW, started to really see some gaps in the market and thought, man, it would be a great opportunity to open a digital laboratory that really bridged the gap between that traditional and digital dentistry and seamlessly work in that workflow, because this industry continues to evolve. There's a lot of consolidation. Technicians that have been around and are educated, there are fewer. Larger labs are growing. They're taking the digital platform and expanding. But some of the mom and pop shops, so to say, the single individual technicians, skilled technicians that have been around for many years, they're retiring. And so there creates a gap because there's a higher population, there's a more need for dentistry that continues to grow. And there was an opportunity for us here in Dallas-Fort Worth to open something that could help dentists not only be successful with digital dentistry, but also transition, if they haven't made that leap yet, to find local support, to find someone who is knowledgeable, someone who had that personal touch to be like, hey, let's do this together. Like, we want to be your partner, let's be successful, we see the future, you see the future, let's do it, and let's grow together. And so I was very fortunate to have a really good friend who was looking for some opportunities, and we kind of partnered up, and that's where DES was formed, and was very fortunate in, a matter of a few months to find some very skilled technicians that had, certified dental technician, master dental technician background. The first year it was a little bit of challenge because, some of the personnel that we had tried to build didn't exactly meet what we were trying to accomplish. But then when we had gained some technicians like Joseph, who's now our lab ops manager, who had been in the industry, at that time for a little over 15 years, also was CDT and Crown and Bridge, but was looking for something to expand that digital realm. It was just like, hey, look, with someone like that, we can really build our future. And so after going through, the kind of the building blocks, right, those first 18 months, we started to form a team that has built into what this is now, with 15 team members, 2 CDTs on staff, a lot of knowledgeable technicians that are learning, and a fully digital platform that really does what we wanted to accomplish, and that's bridge the gap between traditional and digital dentistry. So yeah, and so, I started DES back in the fall of 2018. Actually, we started earlier that year, but we were operational in the fall of 2018. So that was a big year for us as we, worked towards getting everything set up and operational. So a lot of the technological advances that we bring to the market is we're utilizing the latest digital technology as it pertains to dental manufacturing. We have 7 5-axis milling machines that we have the ability to mill or fabricate everything from PMMAs to EMAX, lithium disilicates, and all types of zirconias. And what gives us the uniqueness by investing in that technology and being that it is the latest and greatest is we're able to do multiple materials at an accuracy that is, give or take down to 15 microns, so that is a huge advantage for us because it gives us capabilities that some of the labs that haven't adapted technology-wise can, but it also, being a mid-sized lab, gives us the same technologies and abilities that a lot of these national labs are able to do, but we can do it right here with a personal touch. We've invested in 3D printing technology. We use the latest softwares in ExoCAD and InLab for design, and we continue to invest in technology because we know that's the wave of the future, and we're going to stay abreast of that as we continue to grow and help our dentists be successful in utilizing their technology for cosmetic, restorative, and various prosthetics that are required to provide for their patients' needs. One of the great things about working with DES is because of our digital platform and the fact that we are more than just a laboratory that's wanting to pick up a unit, right? We have a team that's dedicated to make sure that we're delivering on the dentist expectations, right? And with that, by having personal touch, right, from an account management to our admin to our technical leads that will actually speak to the dentist if we ever have questions, to making sure that there's communication not just outwardly to the customer, but internally, we can eliminate some of the challenges that they might find where it reduces remakes, right? So reduced remakes reduces chair time, which means they can schedule more patients, and seating times are quicker on crowns and all those things. And the digital aspects actually helps achieve those things, right? So one of the things we always advocate is like, hey guys, look, we want to help you accomplish your patient's goals. And by doing that, if we work together as a partner, you're going to run a more efficient practice, you're going to be able to cut costs, you're going to be able to deliver on expectations, and we're going to help communicate those expectations in a way that what we can and can't do, but also how to set that for your patient. And again, we're about partnerships, and with that, it helps us be successful, it helps them be successful, more profitable, and with digital in general, it's quicker turnaround times, it's a streamlined process, any of those benefits, I think if you asked any dentist, they'd say a good laboratory partner who communicates, who can deliver on the expectations, especially if they're set up digitally, it's going to make me more efficient, less worries, and it's going to make me a more profitable practice that has a better reputation because I'm delivering to my customers. When it comes to accuracy, we talked about the technology that we've invested in. The reason why we've invested in that technology is because of the level of accuracy that it's able to manufacture prosthetics at, crowns, bridges, veneers, custom abutments. We partner with some of the best custom abutment manufacturers on the market, and being able to do that ensures that there's less room for error. But beyond that, utilizing that technology and the latest and greatest equipment, we have multiple layers of quality control, right? So every step of the way, we have internal quality control procedures in place. We have communications to the dentist if there's questions in order for us to make sure that we can eliminate any challenges. We have instilled those procedures to make sure that at the end of the day, they know the quality, the consistency, and the accuracy is going to be there because we're combining the gifted artistry and talent and the quality of our technicians with the advanced technology that we're able to utilize here and have focused on at DES. Recently, again, we talk about the digital evolution, right? And being a part of that because, it's in our name, right? Digital Esthetic Solutions. We're trying to provide, digital workflows to create aesthetic solutions for our partner clients. And we did a pilot last year, which was kind of unique where, and we've seen this on a larger scale with bigger labs that have better resources, but again, committed to that technology and being the best and evolving with it, we started placing iTero scanners into some of our practices or potential customers. And we did a pilot last year that went great. And so we're really excited that we've decided we're going to expand on that. So we're going to actually start promoting providing scanners, which we call it our scanner placement program, to where if you're a practice that you haven't worked with us, you're wanting to go digital, you're not sure about that capital expenditure, but you know that your lab bill is X amount and you're spending a ton on impression materials, we want to help you get there. And so we're going to be placing scanners with those participants that want to work with us. And really it's going to be a minimum monthly spend. We're going to give them 90 days to ramp up. And as long as they're working with us, we're going to help them be successful with that, streamline their practices, go digital, save on those impression materials, and learn how to take their practice to the next level with that digital aspect. I mean, you got patient comfort, reduced chair times, saving on impression materials. Those are just some of the small things that having a scanner in your practice will help you do, but the communication to your lab, having someone to help you be successful with that, that's what we take pride in and why we're so excited to be able to take this lab scanner placement program to the next level, and to have an iTero scanner, which is one of the leading intraoral scanners on the market, and provide that, we know adds a lot of value to the practices as well. It's very simple. I mean, you're talking minimum of $1,000 a month in lab cases, which in most cases they're spending in that. And that's probably what they're gonna save. And what we found is that the ones that we've worked with, they end up working with us more than the minimum because they see the value and the convenience and the ease. And we don't want to put pressure on them. Again, we're about partnerships. It's not about, I just want X amount from you. It's about, I want you to get the scanner. We're gonna work together. Your patients are gonna be happier. You're gonna get better results. You're gonna be more profitable. You're gonna grow, and we're gonna grow together. So the iTero scanner is extremely easy to use. It's been one of the more proven scanners on the market now for a long time. The technology is unique. I mean, it's a wand base. There's a couple different levels of the scanner where, one's just a laptop computer with the scanner and wand, and then one has like a cart that moves around. There's 3 different levels depending on what the capabilities that you want with it. But when it comes to any of those scanners that they offer, it's so simple. You have a wand, it has a cap, you place it in the patient's mouth. There's a little process that they walk you through and how to do it, starting with the occlusal and then following a pattern where you're going, lingually and buccally. But the uniqueness is with just using your hand, scanning the patient, that's taking these images via cameras and lasers and the technology to where it just stitches everything together in one piece, to where you're basically getting a seamless image of the patient's mouth that comes to us via the iTero portal, and we're then able to see that, create a model, and then just take it right into our workflow to design whatever the prosthetic needs to be. And we can do that with crowns, bridges, cosmetic cases, veneers. We do custom abutments off of implant scan bodies, but it's surprisingly easy. And I think any practice that has adopted the technology and starts to use it will tell you how the patients love it, because they don't have to put that gunk in their mouth and choke them up in the back of their mouth. And just with a little bit of training using a wand, I mean, they call it a wand for a reason. It's like bippity boppity boop, you get it done, stitches everything together, boom, there you go. So we chose iTero for our Flex Scanner program just because we work with a lot of them. And we want all of our customers to be successful with their scanners. But from an accuracy perspective and what we had observed, we were getting the best results with iTero. And one of the things that's unique about iTero too is you can either export files and print models, or you can have them mill a model. So they take another step in QC where the scans go to what's called iTero modeling, where they review everything, they help make sure that the margins are marked correctly if there's any questions before they release it to the laboratory. But it also creates another touch point of communication between the dentist, the lab, and iTero to ensure that everything is as it should be from a scanning perspective, that it was accurate, that margins are marked correctly. And then we have the choice as a lab to print the models and the dies if we want to. Do we want to create it modelless, depending on if the doctor wants that? Or they can mill out a really nice polyurethane model, which what we've seen from a full mouth rehab type of ability, gets better results than printed models. And so it gives you flexibility, it gives you accuracy. They're great to work with, and they have a great scanner. We get tons of great feedback from the clients that we love our iTero. And from a client perspective, they have some other options as far as they can send it to Invisalign to do Invisalign clear correction retainers, and that's a very well-known product, and so there's flexibility there. That's another revenue stream for the practice, you know. So flexibility is another huge one. You know, my hopes for technology is that it's going to continue to evolve. We're going to be able to utilize 3D printing and milling to continue to be super accurate. There's going to be available materials out there that we're not even using yet. You know, the next big thing I think that we're going to see from the digital side of things is starting to see more removable prosthetics such as dentures and stuff take the next step into the future. They're already doing it. There's a lot of platforms out there that are doing it with success. It's just not as widely used or known as it is with things such as zirconia and various lithium disilicates and ceramics, all glass ceramics. But I think we're going to see more of those materials, biocompatible materials, to be printed. We're going to see more of them being able to be milled with quicker solutions, accurate solutions, aesthetic solutions. And our goal is to utilize that to offer a variety of solutions to fit the needs of more or less our clients, but ultimately their patients' needs. The perfect DES client for us is, you know, look, we enjoy practices that work with cosmetic, general, and implant dentistry, right? So your restorative stuff, your cosmetic stuff, veneers, multiple unit rehabs, whether they're full crowns. We do a lot of diagnostic wax ups and case planning and treatment planning in those. And then implant dentistry, do a lot of custom abutments and those type of things. And so when we see a client that would be ideal, or if you look at our portfolio and say, hey, these guys work great with us, most of them are privately owned practices. They're ones that value that relationship. They value the opportunity to communicate with a team member, to plan a case, or also just to know that they're going to get what they ask for, but one that is wanting to utilize technology in their practice, but also knows that even if we can't yet, we know that we can work with DES and they'll take care of us, and value that relationship. And so, you know, for us, we have a lot of 1 and 2 doctor practices, usually privately owned. We work with some that are, you know, a little bit larger groups or whatnot, but we really focus on serving their needs and helping them be successful and growing. Because again, we can do everything the large national labs can do. We have a lot of the same technologies, and we're able to do it on a scale that is not expected for a lab our size, with a personal touch. The one feedback we get a lot is, you know, it's funny, so in the lab world, a lot of times you don't hear the good, right? It's always like, man, this was a challenge, this was that. But we don't mind that either, because we take pride in taking on those difficult cases. And a lot of times that's how we get some of our new clients, is other labs wouldn't do it, they rejected it, they turned it away, or they didn't want to mess with it. And we're like, hey, let's put our heads together, let's figure this out. But to that point, the feedback we get is, we just love how we were able to accomplish our goals because you guys helped us with it. Like, the communication's been great, the suggestions have been great, helping us case plan and delivering on the expectations, right? You know, those are things that we often get feedback on. It's like, man, I love working with you guys because I know if it's a difficult case, or if it's something that we need more quickly than your turnaround time to accommodate a patient going out of town or a rescheduling, that you guys always try and do that for us. And it's nice to have those communications and those that confidence in our lab partner to know that, hey, they're always going to try for us and they're always going to work with us, and it helps us be more successful. And that's what they're looking for, is what we find in a lot of our practices, is they want a partner, and that's who we believe we're best suited for, is those that are looking for partners, and we want to be their partner for success as well. Being located in Dallas-Fort Worth gives us a lot of opportunities, right? So big market, locally, definitely can give you that personal touch, but because of our digital platform and our reach, it doesn't matter where you are. You know, the fact that we can accept digital scans from multiple scanners, not only from our dedicated user portal if we want to set it up, but we're associated with, we're an iTero partner. We've been sent through the iTero partner, DS Connect from Dent Supply Sirona, MeditLink, that's just to name a few. We pretty much have access to receive any scanner that's out there on the market. And that doesn't even matter. If you have physical impressions and you want something that's going to partner with you for a difficult cosmetic case or an implant case, pick up the phone. You're probably going to talk to Marge or Alexis, one of our admins. If not, you'll reach out to Rachel, who's our account manager. You might even get me on the phone sometimes because I still answer the phone, and I love talking with our clients, and we'll send you a UPS label to where you can send the case in and we'll get you taken care of. So there is nowhere where we can't reach, and there's no one that we can't touch, and we just want to be here to serve everybody. And with that said, we have clients all over the country that we do serve, and look forward to serving more.